All right, this one's for the single guys, and honestly, those who are married but unaware what might be coming in the very near future. And to the older guys who've experienced what I'm about to talk about, feel free to chime in and share your story so we can educate the others about the realities of life and hopefully help them avoid them. All right, gentlemen, take a moment and picture this. Imagine one night you're the designated driver. You don't drink. In fact, you've never even once had a drink in your entire life. But one night, after giving some friends a ride home, one of them makes a claim that you were drinking. You were drinking and driving. No evidence, no breathalyzer, no arrest. Nothing more than an accusation based on their word and their word alone. And let's say your friend decides to go and tell the police. Next thing you know, your world comes crashing down. The system takes over and it's already decided. Decided you're guilty. Your car? Gone. Impounded and auctioned off before you even get a chance to defend yourself, to make an argument. Hell, you may not even be made aware that it's actually happened, that your car has been sold. They just simply go and do it on an ex parte order. Next, you're slapped with restrictions to prevent you from being a danger to others. They only allow you to drive rental cars, and every single one of those must have a breathalyzer installed. It doesn't matter that, again, you've never touched alcohol in your life. The fact is, you might, and we have to make sure that that can't happen. Your rights, your presumption of innocence, are completely irrelevant. The potential risk you present to others is simply too great to take, so that's going to be the rule now. Next, you're ordered to attend AA meetings, and no, my friend, they aren't going to be free. You're going to pay every single time you go. Why, you ask? Why do I have to attend meetings and pay for them when I didn't drink and have never had a drink in my entire life? Why are you making me go through all this when you have no proof whatsoever other than the word of my friend? Doesn't matter, they say. That's irrelevant. And you know, refusing to go or even question it kind of makes you look a little guilty. But you know you are in fact innocent. So you decide to stand up for yourself. You decide you're going to fight it in court. Only to quickly realize the judge doesn't care. You're clearly a risk, a danger to everyone, especially your friends and family. After all, what kind of person gets accused of something like this if they aren't actually guilty of something? Meanwhile, your insurance rates skyrocket. Your employer hears about the DUI and suddenly you're a liability to the company, so they terminate your job. And again, I remind you, you haven't been found guilty of anything yet. But that risk, well, it's there, and we can't have the company look bad, can we? Your protests of innocence, they fall on deaf ears. You try to tell people it's not true. You try to tell your side of the story, but no one wants to hear it. Your friends, your family, people who've known you for years, your entire life even, will turn their back on you. Their reasoning being, where there's smoke, there's fire. And worst of all, the more you stand up for yourself, the more you talk about how unfair it is, the more you try and push back, the harder they come down on you. You are tried and convicted without even the chance to defend yourself, all based on the word of one person, a person with everything to gain and nothing to lose by making their allegation. Oh, and one final thing, even if one day the truth of your innocence comes out, even if one day your accuser admits they made it all up, admits they lied, guess what? They're not going to face any consequences, and there's still going to be a whole bunch of people who will still believe you did it, still believe that you're guilty, period. Sounds like a horror movie, doesn't it? Sounds like something straight out of Orwell or a Stephen King novel, but it's anything but. What it is, though, is reality. Reality for millions upon millions of men and fathers every single year. Replace DUI with false allegations in family court. Replace the car with your child. Replace breathalyzer with supervised visitation. And those AA meetings, well, you replace them with court-ordered therapy for something you didn't do. And replace those insurance rates with legal fees that drain every last dollar from your bank account. What does stay the same, though, is that the system doesn't care if you're innocent, now or in the future. It doesn't care if there's no evidence. It operates on fear, assumption, and the path of least resistance. And as I said, for many men, this is their reality. A reality that occurs thousands of times every single day in divorce and family court. It's become so prevalent, there's even a catchy name for it. It's called the silver bullet divorce. And oh, by the way, literally every man who goes through it says the same thing. I never thought it would happen to me. I never thought she would do something like this. Sadly, they learned too little too late. Don't fall into that trap. Take heed, gentlemen. Take heed.